Hello, welcome to Around the House with Kay and Tom. And Kay's not here. She don't know nothing about this video. But anyway, do you people remember the guy on Seinfeld that says, "No soup for you, no soup for you"? Well, let me tell you, he's alive and well. He lives at General Motors. You go there to get service now and they say, "No service for you, no service for you." Did you make an appointment 3 days in advance? You say no, they say, "No service for you." I was really surprised. I've been doing business with the same dealership since 1989, or 1989. Every time I've needed an oil change, I get up early in the morning, I go up there, usually the first or second or third one there, and they say, "Well, you got a couple in front of you or whatever. We'll have you out in about 45 minutes or an hour." I said, "No problem." Matter of fact, we have even been walking around the parking lot and wound up buying a used car sitting on the lot while we were waiting for our oil to be changed before. And so that won't never happen again. And so anyway, they said, "You go in there now," and they say, "Have you got an appointment for oil change?" I said, "Appointment for oil change?" And they said, "Yeah, you got to have an appointment or you ain't getting your oil changed." I said, "Well, I'm not making an appointment to get oil changed." I said, "If y'all don't have capability enough to change oil for people when they come in here, you must be in pretty bad shape, you know." And so now I'm not just picking on my Chevy dealer up there. I stopped right up there, right next door to the GMC dealer, right up here in EUSTIS now, and they said the same thing. Said 3 days. I called a couple of them, and they said the same thing. I had good relationship with Jeff Gordon Chevrolet in Wilmington, North Carolina. I called them because we were fixing to go to North Carolina. That's why I need to have it done. And they said, "Nope, you have to make an appointment 3 or 4 days in advance." So it's not just my Chevy dealer here. It's all of them. It's just GM has got together and decided to do this. But now you can call all your Ford dealers, and the Ford dealer says, "Come on down. I'll get you out in about 45 minutes or an hour." You know, you used to hear that from GM all the time. Now, you don't have an appointment, no service for you. So anyway, I had this guy in front of me waiting in line when I was standing there waiting to see about getting the oil change, and he said, "Mister," he said, "my wife had an appointment down here to get the oil changed yesterday, late yesterday afternoon, so she just couldn't make it." He said, "Can I get my oil changed?" He said, "Oh, about 2.5, 3 hours if you want to wait. Get out of the line. Go to the end of the line. No service for you." You know, and that's the way these people are. Now, I'm not spending no more money in that service department. I sure won't. I'll never spend another dime in that service department. Matter of fact, I'm not going to spend any more money at a dealership that won't service my vehicles. And my wife really wants one of those new Blazers. So if anybody knows of a dealership within 100 miles of Lake County, if you would please let me know on this video, that's where we'll buy our new Blazer. But if we can't get service, we ain't buying it. So anyway, that's my little rant on that. Now, leading up to that, I was so irritated when I come home. I changed the oil, and I got through, and I said, "I wish I made a video on that." So anyway, then I needed to rotate the tires, and so here we go. We're going to do the video on rotating the tires. But I don't understand why they won't let you spend your money anymore. They're going to jerk you around. And it's like I say, this truck has got 80,000 miles on it. Brake shoes are getting low and all that stuff. Well, they're not going to be putting them on. You know, I've never let anybody touch my vehicle except the dealer. You won't be touching this one again, not unless they change their ways. So anyway, like I say, I'm not just picking on my Chevy dealer. It's all GM around or in this area that I can find. So like I say, if y'all know one that doesn't do like that, let me know. That's where I'll start doing business at. So anyway, let's get started and rotate these tires. Won't take but, hey, and if I'm 70-some years old, I can do this. You kids, come on, get started doing this. Don't let these people jerk you around. You know, that's just like the first person that went to get a credit card and they said, "Oh, we got to have your social security number." I would like to know who that moron was, because now everybody's got to have their social security number to get anything. That makes no sense to me. So, anyway, if y'all want to let them do you that way, go ahead, but I'm not. So, now let's get started with the rotation. And by the way, one more thing before we get started rotating these tires. I guarantee you it's in the mid-90s here today in Central Florida. You can walk up there on that car lot and you say, hey, I'm looking to buy a new car, and they'll get out there and walk around that parking lot with you for 2 or 3 hours, if that's what it takes. You know, but you go to service it, hey, no service for you, get it down the line, make an appointment. So, let me tell you, before you buy a car from anybody, drive your old car around to the back to the service department and say, how about give me an oil change, tire rotation, see what they tell you. Now, that is the end. Let's get busy rotating these tires. Okay, now the things you're going to need for this, you're going to need, well, I've got 2 hydraulic jacks. I'm going to put one in the front, one in the back, raise them both at the same time. But if you don't have 2, you can always use a jack stand. Raise it up and put it on the jack stand, make sure it's on there good. Now this is just for instructions here. This is not to say you should go out and do it, but that's the way I would do it. If I didn't have 2 jacks or 2 hydraulic jacks, I'd just use one with the jack stand. Then you're going to need a rubber hammer to lightly tap on your little insert on your wheel to tap it back in. And I'll show you this little gun right here, this impact wrench. And I'm going to tell you what now, this is the handiest thing in the world to have. I'll never go on a trip or take my boat to the ramp again without this and a hot battery for it. Because this, I'm going to show you in a few minutes how this just zips those lug nuts off there. And of course, I meant to set my lug wrench down here, but I'm going to have a lug wrench too, just in case. Well, after I get them all back on, I'm going to check them, because I know about how much I'm so old I can tell by about the torque, about the way it feels, about how much torque it's got on. I'll get it out in a minute. So anyway, and a screwdriver to take the caps off with. And by the way, I'm not just picking on my EUSTIS Chevy dealer. You go right down the road to Denny Lynn GMC, and they were worse. They were 3 days. Don't come back for 3 days if you want any service. When did this country get to where we have to beg people to take our money and do work for us? I don't understand. I wish somebody would let me understand that. And so now we'll get on with the project. I forgot to mention, with my old knees, I need a kneeling pad to get down this concrete to push that jack up under there. Of course, you young guys now, you probably won't need that. You just flop down the concrete and roll it up under there. But us old guys, we need something better. Okay, now I'm about getting ready to slide the jack under here, and I want to show you this point. One will put the jack, and you just have to check it out for yourself, but you won't be close over to here as you can, so when you start raising the vehicle, you're just not raising the body of the truck and the tire's not coming up, because you want the tire to come up as soon as it can. Well, and while I'm at it, I'm about out of breath down here on the ground. I even called Jeff Gordon Chevy in Wilmington, North Carolina. Now they was good to me one time. I went in there and I hit a North Carolina pothole and knocked the front end out of line. And I took it in there and told him, and I said, by the way, can you change the oil while it's in here? He said, no problem. Hour and a half I was on the road, folks. You ain't gonna go into a GM dealer now and have that. They're gonna say, hey, come back in 2 or 3 days. Okay, now you see I've got that jack position just about right where the shock comes down. Just make sure that your jack is not over against the tire, because it might cause a problem when the tire starts coming back down. And after that, I'm going to go ahead and jack this end up just a little bit, and then we'll get to the rear. And by the way, when I was calling around about oil changes, my brother's an old Ford man, and I called down there to Molinax Ford, and they said, yeah, bring it on in. We'll have you out in about 30 or 45 minutes. That's what you used to hear from GM, but not anymore. Okay, now you can see I've got the this jack right where the same place, just right where the shock comes down and connects. So we'll jack them on up here. If I could hit the camera, it'd be better. Okay, now I don't know if y'all can see that. I'm going to try to rearrange the camera. You can see that wheel is just barely off the ground tire. And that's all you need. You don't need it to be off any higher than that right there. Because remember, you're going to have to pick these things back up and set them back up on there. I'm going to show you an easy way to do that too. And I'm going to jack the front end up a little bit more. And there you have it. Now that one's up and off the ground. Alright, so next, just for the heck of it now, we'll go back to the rear one just to make sure that the weight didn't shift and it was on the ground again. But no, it's still off, as you can see. So now we're ready to get on to our next little thing here. Okay, now the next thing we have to do on this particular wheel here is take this center cap off. If you notice, we got two little slots, one here and one down here, and you have to start prying them like this, and they just pop right out like that. And you see how that is. And make sure when you put these back on, in case I forget later, you got a little notch here, a little notch there, and they have to line up with the little notches on the wheel or it won't go on there correctly. So now the lugs on this particular Chevy are 7/8. Got this 7/8 socket here. I'm going to put it on this impact wrench. I'll tell you, I could just about make an entire video on just this impact wrench. Make sure you got it going left. Got to be left. So you put it on here. Did you see that? Now you guys get down there and struggle with a lug wrench if you want to. I'm going to tell you what, that's just too easy. I couldn't believe it. When I brought this thing home and tried it, I put it in the back of the truck with a hot battery on it. I make sure the battery's hot every couple of weeks, and it won't leave the back end of this truck from now on. As long as I'm on the road or got the boat or anything hooked up, this will be with me. Now I'm just going to take those lugs off and put them over here aside where I won't kick them or anything, and get to the front. Now for those of us that's a little mechanically inclined, while you got this far, and you got to do it yourself anyway, go ahead and pull this off right here. All it does is pour it straight out as long as it's in good shape. If it's not in good shape, you might have to go to Midas or somewhere like that. And check your brake shoes here and see what kind of shape they're in. Now I'm not sure exactly how thick it's supposed to be. It's been a long time since I've done a brake shoe job, but I think these are in fairly good shape right now. But I am going to take a brush, knock all this brake dust off of them, clean them up. Now I don't know if they do that when you have a tire rotation or not. Probably not, but sometimes. You know, and this truck is over almost, well, it's over 80,000 miles on it. And now it's time for all this stuff to start happening. And they won't start jerking you around down at GM. Okay, let them go ahead. Somebody else can do it. If I can't do it, I'll find somebody that will. Okay, now I've got this all cleaned up on this, so I'm going to put this hub back on here. If I can hit the hole, there it went. Just like that. Nothing to it. Pretty heavy though. It's no wonder we don't get no better gas mileage. What we do is some heavy stuff, folks. So now let's get to the front. Take it off just like that. I was probably in the way the entire time. But anyway, if I was, I'll just cut it out. Let me get over here. Okay, now we'll get my super duper wrench here. Let me tell you something about these wrenches. Now this is just a little Ryobi. Anyway, now we'll hit these lugs. Alright, moving right along. Alright. Now, ready to pull this wheel off. Now while it's off, you can attempt to look down into here and over here and see just how much brake pad you got left. So it's really hard to see down there. I just now see that. So we'll have to pay attention to it because it looks like, you know, a little bit better than the rear ones, but it doesn't look like they're a whole lot better than the rear ones. So I'll see right now we're going to be doing a video on a brake job here for long. So now, if I don't forget which tire goes where, I'm going to rotate them. Okay, now I'm going to move the tire back over here. Now if you noticed, I got my two lugs there, one right above the other, and that's what I want, because that way you can line up your wheel. Now you get you a flat iron just like this. Right here it's got the curve on the end of it. We'll go stick it right under here. Now we'll go try again. Just like that. Nothing to it. So don't first succeed, try again. Now we'll start putting the lugs back on it. Lug nuts, I mean. These are the lugs. These are the lug nuts, in case you don't know. I know all of y'all know that, but I just, you know, just in case somebody don't. Now, set your wrench here and make sure you put it where it's going to turn it to the right. Right is right, you know. So, go down here and not going to tighten them all the way up first. And never put your lug nuts in here and try to put it on like that. Always put your lug nuts on with your hands first and then go to your wrench. Now, I'm going to take my lug wrench and see. I'm going to ease the jack down just barely where it's touching the ground. Now, we'll take my lug wrench. And I think I told y'all once before it was 7/8, so this is 7/8. And I'm just going to check them. Oh yeah, those are tight. but I'm going to check every one of them anyway. Those bad boys are on there. You don't need to do nothing else to that except drive it. Well, after you put the back one on. So anyway, don't want to make this any longer than it already is. So until next time, hope you enjoyed my little video as much as I enjoyed making this rant for you. And I hate to say bad things about anybody or any product. You hardly ever hear me say something like that. But it's just got ridiculous. So the best thing I can tell you, if you want someplace where you can get service, go to Ford, you know, or a shade tree mechanic, or one of these lube jobs on the side of the road, because you're not going to get it from GM anymore. That's the end of GM having service. So till next time, y'all have a real good day, and thanks again for watching. Come back and see me real soon. Goodbye now.